Hey guys, Ken Ross here, and I am the chair-elect for the South Dade Chamber of Commerce here with the South Dade Shoutout. And today I have Lynne Arguelles of Miami-Dade College, and we are going to talk about the Health and Wellness Fair, which is coming up. And I'm really excited about this, so excited that I could talk about it all day, obviously, but we're going to try to keep this in control today and say, hey, look, we're gonna stick to some talking points and give people the information they need, which will be great. But Lynne, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got to Miami-Dade College and some of your background?
Okay, so prior to coming to Miami-Dade College, I was actually a high school teacher. Prior to that, I've been a part of two small businesses. My background is in information systems, and then I have an MBA.
Nice.
So I've also been in public accounting. So
So you got the financial side of
and
it,
then
the
I slid
educational
into
side,
education.
And then you said, I'm going to use all those talents and I'm going to bring them to the college. So,
Right. So I'm the department chairperson at the Homestead campus for business, engineering, and technology. So
Wow.
3 disciplines.
There you go.
So I work with the faculty to develop the programs and curriculum for our campus.
Right.
And we have a lot of exciting programs. Of course, STEM is like the hit topic.
The big thing, yeah.
So the T and the E are under me, the technology and the engineering.
Well, certainly something I love because I have an IT background. I have a computer science degree from a big university. Right, that's one of the things most people, when you get out of high school, you want to go to a university. But how is Miami-Dade College different than that?
Okay, so historically, 80-something percent of our students come in and get their 2-year degree and then go on to university, right?
Yeah.
But we do have AS programs which go right into the workforce.
Okay.
We also have college credit certificates. And so that's just for people that want to come and get a short-term credential.
Yeah.
And like a special area like digital marketing
Yeah.
is very popular,
Cybersecurity, yes.
cloud computing.
These are all hot buzzwords, by the way, too. So go ahead.
So Miami-Dade, that's one of the things that we do really well is we're connected because we are workforce driven.
Yes.
We're connected to industry, and we try to pivot right when industry pivots to educate the workforce.
Awesome. Yeah, and I really like that because one of the things I know my ancestors or people that I grew up with talked about was trade schools. We don't have a whole lot of that anymore. It's not like you can just learn under someone anymore. A college like Miami-Dade College kind of fills that gap in some ways.
We do, and we're very unique because on the Homestead campus, for instance, we have a new this fall first-time honors college,
Wow.
okay, which is very prestigious.
Yeah.
But you will have an honors college student sitting next to a mom that came back to school after many, many years that has 3 kids and maybe balancing that with a job and going back to school.
Yeah.
So it allows for really unique opportunities for learning,
Yes.
right? Because everybody has something to contribute in the classroom.
Absolutely, and it's that whole communal aspect, right? You can see people of all different backgrounds, different age groups come together and help each other in education and in learning, which is something you wouldn't get normally at a university. That wasn't the norm. It's definitely the norm.
Right.
At Miami-Dade
And our
College.
students, they hate, when you say group project, everybody, is like,
Yeah.
But what I say when I'm in the classroom, because I actually teach too, is
Okay.
I say, life is about a group project. When
Yes.
you work at work, rarely do you work
do it
by
by
yourself.
yourself, yeah.
So I, explain that,
Wow.
and then we explain the things about, group work, like the norming part, the forming part, the storming part, if you've ever studied that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
This is
that's
great.
But I think once they do work in the teams and it works, they really recognize the value, like I talked about,
Yes.
of the different age groups sitting together, because that models what happens in the real world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You work with senior folks and junior folks, and then you work with other departments or
Right.
other teams.
Yeah.
And if you can't figure that out at a college in an educational standpoint, how do you apply that to the real world? That's great. I like that.
And then we have, because STEM is so popular, we have a lot of new grants. We had a grant or a scholarship that was for one of our faculty members that tragically died. So they named a scholarship after him for the fall, and now it's extending into the spring. So there are 20 courses under IT that you can sit in that course for free.
Wow.
Okay, and
Hey,
all you have to
now-
do is really sit in the course,
Wow.
and we have all the background work done that pays for the class. But we have scholarships, and I also sit on the scholarship committee for our Homestead campus, and you see that sometimes the scholarship will go unused, and it's simply because somebody didn't apply for it.
Right.
So we always tell, students that are coming back, don't let money be that barrier.
Right.
Because we are affordable.
Yeah.
And we do have financial aid, and we have scholarships, and we have a great team at the Homestead campus that works with the students to help them figure out how they're going to pay for it if
Right.
they can.
Well, and definitely an investment, right? You should take advantage of everything that you can take advantage of, and this is one of those things that you're talking about. I come from the great land of Nebraska, and Warren Buffett has a quote that says, "The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself," and education obviously is the key to that, right? And saying, look, can I educate myself? Can I acquire some skills that no one can take away from me, right?
Exactly.
In that sense. That's great.
And so Miami-Dade is a great starting point for a lot of people,
Yeah.
or a returning point,
Yes.
right? Some of students come back to us, they have stepped out of their education for one reason or another, and we help them, we take them wherever they are.
Yes.
You took math 10, 15 years ago. You don't think you remember college algebra? Come back, and we will get you the tutors to help you get through that class.
Yeah, well, I mean, given that I have an IT background and a minor in mathematics, yes, I could say you could easily forget a lot of things like trigonometry or even statistics. I didn't like those classes. I took them begrudgingly and got through them, but it would always be great to go back and relive some of those things. So
Right,
definitely worth spending some time understanding how to continue your education in a lot of different ways. So would the best way for people to kind of get a hold of some of that information would be to go to your website?
Go to our website for sure. We have all of the scholarship information there. If it doesn't say it on the website and you still have questions, our website's going to give you an email address or a phone number to call,
Okay.
and speak directly to a person.
Right. So was that mdc.edu?
MDC.edu.
Yeah, I figured
Okay?
it was simple, right?
And
So-
on our homepage is always displayed the information about STEM, because that is
the big thing.
That's the big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely like the areas of focus you're in because like I said, I have the IT background, and that is one of the best, most emerging opportunities. If anybody is passionate about being a part of any part of that, I mean, there's definitely a fit for you in those spaces, and there's going to be a growing need for that for sure.
Right. And on the Homestead campus as well, we have signature programs. The aviation program is on the Homestead campus. We have a great nursing and ENT program. We have a state-of-the-art new nursing lab.
Okay.
And it's showcased behind these, and I do this because it's showcased behind these beautiful glass doors.
Yes.
So, come and check out our campus because we're
Awesome.
doing amazing things.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about that too. The campus is changing a lot. So
Right.
They're actually building a new campus, and you want to talk a little bit
Right.
about that?
The footprint of our campus is changing because there is a signature building right across from the city of Homestead, a big four-story.
Hall, yeah.
City Hall.
Yep.
City Hall.
Yep.
And it's going to house what is called student services, so advising, financial aid. That is going to be housed there, as well as a new entrepreneurial center. We have also a huge conference room, office space, meeting space there, and plans to open sometime early in 2023.
Yes. And you said it's going to be the face of the campus, right?
It's going to be I call it
it's
the
gonna be-
face of the campus. You may even be able to see it from the turnpike.
Yeah.
But as soon as
Yeah.
you get off the turnpike, you're going to be able to see it. If you can't find that, you can certainly find City Hall.
Well,
okay?
yes, yeah, and I love that because one of the other things I know is that it's going to be modeled kind of after City Hall as well. So you're going to see this real investment,
Yeah,
tangible
it is.
investment.
It
in the
is
city of
Miami-Dade
Homestead.
College's investment in the Homestead community.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I love it.
And they're continuing to invest because we're always repurposing, redoing a lab, a classroom. There's always work on our campus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So love that. Let's talk a little bit about the Health and Wellness Fair now. We're going to talk about some of the pillars of health, right? And before we get into that, there are certain aspects of this that you wanted to talk about at the beginning.
Last year when this whole health fair was envisioned, I sit on the chamber on the board.
Yep.
And I also at Miami-Dade I sit on what's called the Resource Development Committee. So we're always looking for grants, right?
Yes.
So we were talking on this committee, we were talking about how we wanted to do outreach in the community. And on the chamber side, they were talking about how they wanted to do a health and wellness fair.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, why don't you do it on our campus? And everybody was excited.
Yes.
So it was our first year last year, and we got a lot of vendors, community partners involved. And then this year, we're just doing it even better,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like that for sure. And our motivations being on the board is to work together. So I really think this is a great opportunity.
It's a great partnership.
Yeah, a great partnership. So why don't we talk about some of the things that you're going to have at the fair?
Right. So last year when we were doing this for the first time, I didn't realize, we talk about physical and mental health a lot, but I didn't realize that there were different pillars, okay? So I got educated on this. So we talked about getting partners in all the different pillars to come to this fair. And so the first pillar, of course, which we all think about, is the physical pillar, right?
Yes.
So this is our physical health. This is what we eat, how we exercise. And so part of that physical component, we have several different people coming as vendors.
Okay.
The biggest one, of course, is Miami-Dade College because we do education in those areas,
Yes.
right? We have a nursing program. We have a PA program. So those people are all coming to campus. We're going to have, and all of these, I should say, all of these tests are all free.
Yes.
So the major part of this health and wellness fair is to get the community out and get them to come and see what's happening right in our community. And everything is free. So we have tests, we have glucose screening, we have vision screening, we have HIV testing, we have pregnancy testing, we have a blood mobile.
Wow.
So lots of physical tests that you can come and get done for free.
Okay.
Or even if you don't get the test done, we have people doing education.
Right.
Like we have a respiratory therapy program coming just to talk to people about smoking and lung health. Okay.
Sure. Well, and I would think with the pandemic and the effects that COVID has had on certain people, lung health is something people can invest some time in learning about for sure.
Certainly. So all of these things, we just want people to come and, and really just kind of take a day to think about those things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really an investment in that. Why don't we talk about when it is? I don't think we talked about that.
Sure.
Either.
So it's Saturday, October 15th from 10 to 2 on the Homestead campus. We're at 500 College Terrace, right across from City Hall.
Nice.
Okay, so if you haven't been to the campus, it's a beautiful campus, and we're hoping for a beautiful day.
Right, and there's going to be plenty of parking, right? You just be able to park.
Yeah, plenty of parking. We'll have our public safety there directing you to the right lot to go to.
Okay.
And we'll welcome you there.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity, obviously, for people if they've never been to the campus. I've driven by it a few times. I've never actually been able to go in and look at any of the classrooms or do things because I'm doing business around the area. But very familiar with the area and looking forward to doing some of that. So why don't we talk a little bit more about some of the pillars? So you mentioned the physical aspect. There's other ones, I'm
Yes,
sure.
there's other aspects. So on that physical, let me finish with that too.
Okay, yeah.
So on that physical, we're actually going to have a center stage.
Oh, yeah.
So we have activities going on throughout the day to involve people of all ages. Okay.
Yes.
So we have the activities staged in 30-minute increments. So we're starting out with something that's called Qigong.
Qigong, yes.
And this is being
Yes, you told
done
me
by
this.
one of our faculty members on campus. It's from what she describes it to me and what I've seen, it's kind of a mix between Tai Chi and a type of meditation.
Okay.
And again, that is for people of all ages. We have Taekwondo.
Yep. I was going to say, I could talk about my Taekwondo teacher. We are definitely invested in understanding that physical health does take on a lot of different challenges as you get older. But Taekwondo is a really great martial art that you can help with body control and things like that too. So looking forward to seeing his contribution to the fair, because he's very much invested in this area.
So we have Afro-Caribbean dancers.
Yes.
We have one of our sponsors, which is Workout Anytime. We have Dade County Public Schools. And we have, and I love this title of the business, it's called Homestead Yoga. Okay?
Yes, I love it.
And again,
That's great.
they're going to be doing demonstrations and involving the participants. Okay?
Yes.
So we're encouraging everybody to come. We're going to have a center stage set up. We're encouraging everybody to come and participate. Okay, so if you've never done Taekwondo, like I haven't, or Qigong, like I haven't,
I've never done that either.
So we're going to be out there practicing.
Awesome. I think that's a really great opportunity, and like you were saying, for people to understand what is available to them, because all of these vendors and the people that are showing up, they're actually in South Florida, they're in Homestead.
They're in the South Dade community.
In the South Dade
so
community.
we've
it's not
we've
a long trip.
solicited our South Dade partners to be these sponsors and be these vendors. And, everyone that we've called, and I should say, has been so gracious. Everybody is super happy to be involved.
Absolutely.
Okay? So that's the first pillar. One of the other pillars, which I don't think we always think about, is probably that financial pillar.
Yes.
But we know that probably, I can speak personally, one of our biggest stressors in life might be financial, right?
Right.
So we have some community partners and sponsors. We have some banks, Dade County Credit Federal Union, South State Bank, Chase, coming, and they're going to be doing financial literacy.
Definitely something I think even at a college level, because you talked a little bit about this before, that you can learn these skills, because not every college or every university offers financial literacy, and when it comes to health and wellness, for sure, that's something that people don't consider, right? If we're thinking about the different pillars, like you were saying, or even if you hadn't thought about that, but to be healthy would also be worry-free about some of your finances.
About finances,
at least understanding
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And I think as an educator, it's something that we talk about a lot with our students,
Yeah.
right? Whether we're talking to them about financial aid, or I teach business, so we're always talking about finances. And these partners that I just mentioned have been very gracious, because they come to our campus on multiple occasions throughout the year and educate our students about financial literacy.
Yeah.
And whatever age you are, whether you're an 18-year-old college student thinking about taking out a loan, or you're somebody that's my age that's trying to prepare for retirement, right?
Yeah.
We all need that financial literacy. It doesn't end. I don't think that education ends.
No, and I'm trying to grow a family. I have three kids at home and 2 out in the world there, and it's like, how do you make all this work? It's probably one of the more stressful financial times versus maybe at the beginning or the end. So
Right. And I think that's one thing that, again, we talk about too. We probably don't educate our kids enough, right?
Yes.
On financial literacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'll share this quick story. That's one thing I definitely had the opportunity to understand more during the pandemic, because I was like, I really want to understand more about how the stock market works and how they actually get into that. So I taught myself or learned some of those aspects and been able to do that. I don't think a lot of folks learn that way
Right.
per se, but then I also thought about the component you were saying. How do my kids not have to do this later in their life? So I involve my children, and I help them understand.
It's scary for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
It's scary, but luckily we have those partners within our community to help, right?
Yes.
And these people will be at the fair to
Right.
help.
So you have for the audience, I'm saying we do, because we're going to be there, but everyone has the opportunity to really decide what they can learn and enhance when it comes to health and wellness. So.
Right. And I also should mention that we're going to have raffle prizes,
Oh,
okay? So each of these financial pillars, we're going to have a little passport. So as a participant, you go to the different vendors and you learn something, or you get a test done, get a glucose screening, and you'll get your passport stamped.
Okay.
So if you get a passport stamped by all of the pillars that we were talking about today, you can sign up, and we're going to have raffles throughout the day. So we have
Wow.
raffle prizes we have a kids raffle area and an adult raffle area.
Wow.
Great
so
prizes.
this is getting better by the minute here
Uh-huh.
for most people to be able to really explore that and then have a potential reward there in the form of a raffle. That's always a fun time.
Right. So our major sponsors, I'm going to say those
Yep.
to give a shout out.
Yep.
Miami-Dade College, we have the Children's Trust.
Yes.
We have Homestead Hospital. We have Workout Anytime. And I'll mention some more as we keep going.
Okay.
So another area
Yes.
of financial wellness is the intellectual component. Okay. So we have Miami-Dade, of course, there, and talking about all the programs, again, for continuing education for our children, all the way up to seniors who may want to come back and take a class or do something for continuing education.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the emotional aspect of health.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think, like you were talking about, that's something that the pandemic opened up,
Yes.
right?
Mental
like how
health is
our
a big
emotional
deal.
health?
Absolutely. And what do you have for the emotional side?
So we have Epic Beauty. We have Patches, which is a wonderful community partner. We have NAMI and Infamilia.
Infamy. Okay, yeah. There's that's a big lineup, and definitely very diverse in the sponsors here and the people that are bringing information. So, like you said, or you may have not mentioned it, there are things for people of all ages, right? At this fair, you want all families or people, anybody to come, right?
Right. Any and everybody are welcome. Okay.
Absolutely.
So for the children's activities, we have last year this was the biggest hit, and I think it was because it was in the air conditioning part.
Yes.
So the students would, the students, the children,
yeah.
would go outside and they would get all hot and sweaty, and then they would come inside, and we have a big area set up for Legos.
Yes.
We also have pumpkins, a pumpkin painting.
Yep.
We have bubbles, those big gigantic bubbles. We have big balls, and we have board games, big board games for outside, and we have small board games.
Awesome.
So you can come and get your children hot and sweaty and all worn out.
Yep.
Okay.
And then go home and
Yeah,
kinda
we
relax,
have food
right?
trucks there, so
Yep.
you can come and purchase lunch. Different food trucks are going to be there.
Yep.
Big lineup.
Wow, I mean, this is I can't even express how exciting this is, in the sense that I know that the one of the things that we really want as a chamber, and we talk about this, is we want businesses to thrive, but the other component to that is we want the community to thrive, because you can't use businesses if you don't have a thriving community, right?
Exactly.
And
And we want our
this is the
community to
culmination of
know
that.
the resources that are available right in their own community. They don't have to go far.
Mm-hmm.
And we want them to, just take a day and focus on their health, right? Because
Absolutely.
we're all so busy, and sometimes we just need to have a day to think about that, right?
Absolutely, and this is quite the opportunity, right, for people to not only invest in their health and wellness, check out the campus, but really see the investment that Homestead is making, right, in the development of this area, in the health and the wellness of a community, right, in the
Right.
sense.
And a plug for the chamber, all the great work that the chamber does, right? Because all of these partners are part of the chamber.
Okay.
And, and really support the community.
Absolutely, and I would encourage any business that isn't already a part of it, that want to be a part of it, still can, right? They still have the opportunity.
Of course. We have, at this point, we have a little over 40 vendors. We have room for more. We have probably another week and a half that will be taking vendors. So if you think that your business fits into one of these pillars and you are interested in the health, because you don't have to be a yoga studio, right?
Right.
So there are all these different pillars. There's the financial, the emotional, the spiritual. And we didn't talk about the environmental.
Yes.
Okay, that's another pillar that we don't think about, right?
Right, and given the hurricane and everything that's happened, environmental safety and doing the right things for the environment is so important. And
Right.
people just we don't have a class on that. All
Yeah,
the time.
but we have somebody right in our own backyard as one of the vendors, and that's Everglades National Park.
Absolutely.
So they will be there and talk about the work that they're doing to protect the environment. We also have a club that's part of Miami-Dade called the Yes Club, and
Okay.
all they do is environmental work. They will be there as well,
Awesome.
supporting the
Yeah,
environment.
I learned a lot actually just going to the Everglades, and I took the free trolley during the summer months. I believe the trolley is free. You can go down to the Everglades, and you can learn a lot about what is really going on with the environment, how they're trying to restore parts of the Everglades. You can even
It's amazing.
yeah, it's just, I mean, just so much stuff you could really get into, and you have the opportunity at this fair. That's why I love this. It seems like you can bring your family and not know what necessarily to expect, but expect to really get an education in things that you can find interest in. And if you don't find interested in that, there's going to be other things that you can get
Yeah.
interested in.
And then again, everything is free. We're having raffle prizes. Bring your
Wow.
children, because the children really, they had a blast last year. It was
Yes.
just fun just playing, seeing the children play and
Yes.
enjoy the fair.
Okay.
And I also would be remiss if I don't talk about the people that have helped put this together.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So go right ahead.
Carlos and Mark from the Chamber,
Oh, yes.
and Lucia from the Chamber have been phenomenal. My partners at Miami-Dade College, Julian has she's the one that spearheaded this last year and has
And
been
she's
tremendous this
Put in
year.
a lot of work.
We have a new campus administrator, and she loves events. So
Okay.
when she came a couple months ago and she says, "Oh, I love events," we were like, "You're at the right campus." So
Definitely.
her name's Laura Rodriguez,
Laura
and
Rodriguez, okay.
she's been great.
All right, and so for the businesses and the audience, people who want to get more involved at this level with helping with the fair, do they just reach out to you then?
They can reach out to me, Lynne Arguelles, at Miami-Dade College, or they can reach out to Carlos or Mark at the Chamber. Should you want to be a vendor, we welcome vendors. Should you just want to come and participate, of course, that's what we're here today to get you to do.
Absolutely, and so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really excited. Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to the campus or to the fair?
No, we're just excited to have everybody on campus. You don't really get a chance, probably unless you're taking a class, to come to Miami-Dade Homestead campus.
Yes.
But we have a beautiful campus. We want to showcase it to the community. We welcome you there. So we hope to see you Saturday, October 15th,
15th, yes.
10 to 2.
10 to 2. And I'm excited too, because I've lived in Homestead for a while, and I always drive by the campus and I've seen different things going on. I'm going to look forward to being able to do some of that, especially with my family, because I really do feel like they can get a good sense for what it is we're trying to do in this community, given that we're both part of the Chamber and we want to see growth. The growth in the educational component of any community, especially something like what Miami-Dade College has done for so long, is much needed. And I'm excited to be able to showcase that, and that's what this is all about. So really appreciate your time, Lynne. Thank you.
Thank you. We're excited to see you on campus.
Okay, and that's the South Dade shout out for today. Please stay tuned and watch more of these great people like Lynne investing in the community, doing their part to ensure that you can grow in your health and wellness, for sure, when it comes to this fair, as well as other things when it comes to the Chamber initiative. So with that, thank